Eyewitness News, local at 10, starts now.
Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm Nick Toma. Well, it is a problem that has plagued the state line for many years now, drunk driving.
But the differences in how the two states handle it could be deadly. Eyewitness News reporter Alexis McAdams investigates why there are so many repeat drunk drivers in the state of Wisconsin.
Nick, Mimi, I took a closer look at the huge disparity in drunk driving laws between Illinois and Wisconsin and found out that there are very serious, even dangerous differences over the state line's drunk line. The state of Wisconsin allows repeat offenders back into the driver's seat just days after they're arrested. Welcome to Wisconsin. Please drive safely and pray you don't run into one of these drivers, because once you cross the state line's drunk line, the sheer number of repeat drunks on the road can be scary.
Driving while under the influence is an issue in Wisconsin.
More than 475,000 people in Wisconsin have at least one drunken driving conviction on their record. Nearly 8,000 have 5 or more. Mark Allen Warner of River Falls has 15 OWIs on his record. Then there's this bloodshot and glassy-eyed Wisconsin man who claimed he'd been eating beer-battered fish for lunch after he was arrested for his 10th OWI. Ted Lowry of Appleton was arrested this month for his 12th. Closer to home, this Rock County man was arrested last year for his 11th OWI. Police say 7 of those arrests were with kids in the car. You're probably wondering why hundreds of repeat drunk drivers are allowed back out onto the roads. Well, in Wisconsin, you really don't get in that much trouble. The first drunk driving offense is just like a traffic violation or a speeding ticket. It's not until your 4th offense that it's a felony. And even if they go to prison, Wisconsin can only take a driver's license away for a maximum of 3 years. Compare that to Illinois, where drivers lose their license after their first offense. The result?
It's very unlikely in Illinois that you would have somebody with that number of offenses or an extremely high number of repeat offenses.
Repeat offenders like Dustin O'Connor, a Janesville man arrested for his 7th OWI last year.
I don't think there's anybody that argues that they have a culture of drinking here, and that probably contributes to it.
Part of it is our culture. We have a drinking culture in our state.
Well, it's definitely part of the Wisconsin culture.
And what a dangerous culture it is. An average of 1 person is killed or injured in an alcohol-related crash every 2.5 hours on Wisconsin roadways. But local law enforcement is fighting back. Rock County Police established the Rock Area OWI Task Force in September of 2014, collaborating with 9 departments in the state to detect, stop, and arrest impaired drivers.
It allows us to go out with deputies and these officers, and their sole mission is to search for, stop, and arrest impaired drivers.
The result, a 32% increase in the number of OWI arrests since the task force hit the streets. In Janesville, they've created a website called Project Sober Streets. People with 5 or more OWI offenses have their pictures posted on the website. The problem so bad they even track known drunk drivers like other cities track sex offenders.
These people are creating a public safety issue, and that their neighbors need to at least be aware.
And because sobriety checkpoints are illegal in the state of Wisconsin, officers have to rely on their training to apprehend drunk drivers.
Observing a vehicle, the driver's movements, making traffic stops, and obviously during the course of the traffic stop is to interact with the driver just to see if he or she is displaying signs of impairment.
But the problem doesn't seem to be catching them, rather keeping them off the road. Take James Socha, for example. He was sentenced in 2005 to 8 years in prison for his 10th and 11th drunken driving convictions, but was out of prison and driving drunk again 3 years later when he was charged with his 12th offense.
At that point, we're not dealing with somebody that's rational, we're dealing with somebody that's addicted.
Wisconsin State Representative Deb Kolste wants to see treatment programs for repeat offenders. She says establishing harsher penalties does not seem to cause people to quit drinking and driving. But Winnebago County State's Attorney Joe Bruscato says stiff penalties work down here.
Clearly, Illinois is a little stronger from a punitive standpoint than Wisconsin.
So, considering the huge scope of the problem in Wisconsin, why not consider cracking down more on drivers like Bonnie Stripling of Edgerton, with 6 OWI arrests, or Carol Bogoki of Janesville, just arrested for her 7th. It seems to all come down to
the Wisconsin culture.
Is that they have a culture.
We have a drinking culture in our state.
The state of Wisconsin's operating while intoxicated penalties are among the most lenient in the nation. Wisconsin is the only state that does not consider a first-time offense a crime. A new proposal is slated to be introduced to Wisconsin state legislators in a few weeks. That could result in a lifetime license revocation after 5 drunken driving convictions. For more information on the Stateline Drunkline investigation, head to our website, mystateline.com. Nick, Mimi?
Some really good information there, Alexis. Thanks for that report.